Practicing guitar is the best thing in the world. I love it. And I often ask myself, how do my heroes practice guitar? What is their practice routine? How are they doing it? And I think this is extremely interesting. And I'm always kind of disappointed when a hero of mine is saying like, I'm not practicing, I'm just playing. Well, I get this question also pretty often. I don't want to disappoint you, so this is the reason why today I'm talking about my precious practice routine. Here we go. Hey Guitar Champion, what's going on? I'm Justin Hornbach, back from my practice cave, and welcome to today's video. This video is actually a part of the ZEN of Speed Picking, my big online masterclass about speed picking. There I took a whole section where I talk about my practice routine, and there's also a PDF where you can download the workout sheet where I always write down what I have to do today, what I've done today, how much BPM, whatnot. But you can download this as well if you hit the link in the description box. If you are interested in the ZEN of Speed Picking, then check the link in the description box as well, and I would recommend to you to do it now because the price of the ZEN of Speed Picking is going up next Monday on the 6th of November, so check out the ZEN of Speed Picking right now. And you will see a little bit of difference in how I'm sitting here and talking, because the ZEN of Speed Picking I try to be really naturally. Of course, it's all worked out and there's a lot of really great content where I'm really proud of in the ZEN of Speed Picking, but especially more the talking videos, I try to be most authentic as possible. So I'm not dressed up and having good hair and really cool light. It is more like I was waking up in the morning, grabbed my guitar, we're practicing, thinking about my practice routine, and then I thought, hey, I should make a video about this. Press the record button and let's go. And this is also the cool thing about the ZEN of Speed Picking. Nowadays my setup is so easy and so simple for me to record ideas, educational ideas, licks, etudes, workouts, whatever, and put them up right into the ZEN of Speed Picking. So it is not an online masterclass that is final. I'm always adding new material to this, like I've done in the last couple of months. So I hope you will not scream and run away when you're about to see 8 a.m. Justin in the next few minutes. But there, yeah, I'm talking about my current practice routine that I really love, that I really like to do every day, and to progress with it every day. A few quick thoughts that are important for me when it comes to practice routine before this video starts is, first of all, the goal is important to have a path, but if you achieve this goal is not important. The path to the goal is the most important thing. And the next thing, which is the most important thing and philosophy behind my practice routine, is the FAB method. Focus, awareness, and patience. These are the three key elements for developing a good guitar technique in all aspects. So much about that. Let's take a deeper look into my practice routine, and here we go with the video of the ZEN of Speed Picking. Cheers. Alright everybody, it is time to talk about the most beautiful thing on guitar, which is called practicing. It's my favorite topic. I love practicing. If I could be paid for just practicing, this is a dream that I have since I'm 14 years old. I always dreamed about some company or whatnot just giving me money for practicing. Not having any results, not being on stage, not selling online masterclasses. No, just 8 hours of practicing, give me money, and I'm the happiest person in the world because I love to get better at this thing. And I always do every day. And I'm sad every day when I'm not practicing. Alright. So let's talk a little bit about my practice routine, my practice organization, and what you can include from this. Okay, now the first big difference that we have maybe between me and you is that it's part of my job to practice 4 hours a day. And I don't have the situation that I have to do a daily job like 8 hours sitting in the office and whatnot, having a really exciting and fun job, and then going home and have to practice boring guitar. It really, with all seriousness, I'm self-employed since, well, let me say I was never employed in a company or something like that. So I don't know how it is to work in an office, but I'm always a little bit jealous about those people, because for me, who never experienced this sounds like extremely amazing, extremely interesting and fascinating. Maybe I quit all of this stuff, sell all the guitars and start working in an office job. No, maybe not. Okay, now the practice routine. So, what I do, for example, is often I take a lick or a certain section or a certain song. It depends, in my case, often of what is on my agenda. Do I have to get prepared for a show, for a tour? Do I have to get prepared for YouTube videos, which is 80% of the time currently? And yeah, depending on this, this shapes what I'm practicing in my practice routine a lot. So, but the how I am practicing it always stays the same. And I do it like this. I take, for example, for every lick, like 25 to 30 minutes. And you can scale all of this, what I'm saying, down to your individual time frame. Like, for example, when you only have like half an hour and you want to spend 15 minutes practicing and 15 minutes jamming, then take those 15 minutes or take these 30 minutes that I now tell you how I organize them and scale them down to your 15 minutes. The more you can practice, the faster results you will get. Eventually, it's with everything. The more sport, when you're hitting the gym every day, you will get more results. And when you're hitting the gym only once a week or something like that, I think we are all adults. I think you know this. So again, but I take 25 minutes for, let's say, a certain lick, and then on Monday, which is often the day where I start my practice routine, because another fun fact, I love Mondays. Mondays is the best day of the week. It's fresh. It's after a boring weekend where nothing happened, because my life can be quite boring sometimes. And yeah, I have my fresh mind again for practicing guitar. So Monday, everything starts from the beginning, from the top. So, and on Monday, what I'm going to do most of the time is, first of all, it is extremely important to find your own individual tempo, where a certain lick, certain technique, certain exercise, whatever you are practicing right now, this you can transform this or transpose this on everything music related. Find the tempo where it starts to break apart, where it starts to not feel good anymore, where it is not clean anymore, all of this kind of stuff. And then what I do, this information is extremely important, because we want to work towards this tempo. And what you're doing next is that you put away from this tempo 40 BPM. Like, for example, a lick that I'm practicing, 16-note triplets on 140 BPM. There it starts to get difficult. My hands are desynchronized. Something is sloppy. There are some open strings ringing along. All of this can happen. And then I, for example, start on Monday on 100 BPM. And just to get this lick under my fingers, in the muscle memory. And then after every 5 minutes, I will increase the tempo to 10 BPM. So I have 100, 120, 130, 140. All right, cool. If it's not working on 100 already, if there's already something that's kind of is desynchronized or kind of wrong or feel not right, I'm going lower. I'm going even lower. Like, for example, I'm starting on 80 BPM. And then I work up towards 120. And what I'm doing then is 120 is my final tempo for that week. If I have this kind of problem, I know, okay, I have to put at least 3 weeks into a certain lick, because 120 on week number 1, then on week number 2, my to-go tempo is 130, and on the next week it's then 140. Maybe sometimes I throw in a fourth week where I try to get on 150, because when I can play it even faster than 140, then especially when I want to play it live, it's even better. So, but back again to Monday. I'm starting on 100 and then increasing the tempo of 10 BPM after 5 minutes. So I have 25 minutes for one lick and 5 minutes to make a little break, to eat something, to, I don't know, make the cat litter clean, or feed the cats, feed little Ingvi and little Mowgli and all of that fun stuff that you also have to do besides practicing guitar. Now again, why I'm doing this helps me to get the muscle memory activated, to realize more and more, okay, at this tempo it starts to get weird with this kind of parameter. Here the hand synchronization gets a little bit more off already on 120 BPM. All these informations, all these analysis that we have to do is really, really important later for my practice routine. Then on Tuesday, I do my favorite practicing and speed method. So I take now my final tempo, 140, and I'm now here doing something which I call the marathon man way, which is not practicing it, practicing slower and increasing the tempo. No, I stay with the same tempo, but I increase the length of the lick. Like for example, I just play the first 4 notes of the lick, or the first 5 notes, and then the first 6, and moving on, and increase the length of the lick even more and more and more. But always in tempo, because as we all know, our body and our brain works differently when we have to play something in tempo. It's really important to play those bursts. All right. And then on Wednesday is the most important day nowadays for my practice routine. Oh, I love the Wednesday because the Wednesday is brutal. The Wednesday is brutally honest because Wednesday is analysis day. And what I'm going to do there is I film myself. I film myself with my iPhone. Luckily, my iPhone has a slow motion camera inside of it. Maybe your phone has this as well too. If not, film it and then put it, for example, in a video program, video software like DaVinci, Resolve, Premiere, whatever you have. There are certain programs out there that are for free as well. And there you can go through that video in slow-mo or frame by frame. And now here the important thing is, we have to understand that during practicing, our perception is extremely limited. We only have enough energy to focus on certain things, and often we are not aware of stuff that is happening that actually is hindering us getting better at that lick. For example, here's a certain note that I actually don't pick in tempo. Or here's something where my hands are playing the wrong note, my left hand is playing the wrong note, I have the wrong finger shape and whatnot. All these kind of little details, sometimes we don't realize. We're just realizing it by filming ourselves and taking a look at ourselves from a different perspective. Extremely important. For me, mind-breaking. It showed me so much stuff where I thought afterwards, oh god damn it, I have to practice even more. There's so much wrong in my playing yet. So this, extremely important. Extremely important. I recommend this to everybody. Film yourself, record yourself, and analyze it. What I'm going to do there is, in this 25 minutes per lick, I'm going to play that lick 10 times in a row. Doesn't matter if it was right or wrong. It doesn't matter if it felt good or it felt wrong. I just play it. And then I take my time and go through these recordings. I'm sorry, my English. Oh, speaking of cats, hello, Ingvi. And I go through these recordings, and then I try to see every little detail, every little maybe mistake that I'm doing, or every little good thing that I'm doing. Like, for example, oh, I didn't know that I can pick this really, really clean, or here, oh, it's actually pretty good played, and all this kind of stuff. Super awesome. Highly recommend Wednesday Analysis Day. Really good. You can also do this, of course, with recording in the DAW and then slowing it down. But sometimes you often don't hear certain problems, certain mistakes. I didn't hear for years that I did not pick a certain note in one of my favorite speed picking licks. I just found it out by filming myself. So I more recommend to film yourself. Okay, now Thursday is the next brutal day. Oh, it's getting like this. And I love it. So Thursday is the day where I only increase the tempo when I can play a lick 10 times in a row correctly. And this is hard. Sometimes, again, I take 25 minutes for each lick. Sometimes I only got from 80 BPM to 90 BPM that time. Because I always screw it up. Sometimes the counting is hard. Not knowing, was it now the 5th time that I'm playing this lick? Or the 6th time? And oh fuck, there was a mistake. You know, there it is really important to have consistency in your playing, and you're practicing this consistency. And the good thing about this, even though this is extremely brutal for yourself, but the good thing is that you know when you can play a certain lick 10 times in a row with a small break in between it, like one bar or something, ba-ga-da-ga-da-ga-da-ga-da, 2, 3, 4, da-ga-da-ga-da-ga-da-ga-da, something like that, little break in between, you already know this. You know you can play this lick. This lick is now based on your skill and not on luck. This is a problem that me as a content creator often have. That I play a lick and record myself and it's not working, and then one time it's working, I was, yes! Now it worked, now I can release it. And everybody is thinking when they're watching my videos like, he could play it easily. He just put on the camcorder, press record, and then play it one take, first take. Well, no. It is so often based on luck. And afterwards I feel really bad because I'm thinking like, hey Justin, if you are honest to yourself, you cannot play this lick because that was just one lucky shot you got there, a trick shot. Well, like we used to say in Germany, every chicken sometimes finds the corn. Weird sentences. All right. So this is my Thursday. Extremely important as well, but extremely useful and helpful. And then on Friday, I do something which got stuck in my mind after I have had the interview together with Jordan Rudess, one of my favorite all-time musicians. He is an absolute virtuoso on the keyboard. I really love the music that he's making with Stream Theater. And I always ask myself, how can somebody play on that level every night, every show? How does he prepare for these kind of situations? And he gave me a really interesting answer on that interview. And I highly recommend to everybody to watch the full interview. It's really interesting. And this was practice the feeling of playing something right. Remember that feeling. This sentence got stuck in my head extremely after he said this. Remember the feeling. Remember that feeling when something was relaxed, when something was good and tight and precise, and remember that feeling. And what I do is, when I've practiced a certain lick on a certain tempo and I know after Thursday, okay, it is working on that tempo, I try to play that lick standing up, for example. Or in different situations, or I imagine the situation of standing on a huge stage and in the front row there is John Petrucci and Marty Friedman and all of my heroes, Rusty Cooley and I don't know, Yngwie Malmsteen, and you, because you are also my hero just by buying the ZEN of Speedpicking. Yay. No, but I had certain situations like this already in my career. For example, on this year's Guitar Summit, 2023's Guitar Summit, I had to perform a song from Eternity's End, which I only had one week to prepare. Eternity's End is, my power metal band that I play with, which is one of the most technical stuff that I ever played. It's not easy to play. And I had to demonstrate something about picking there and was extremely nervous because in the audience, first of all, there were way more people than I was expected. I was really happy, but it made me nervous like hell. And some of the best guitar players in Germany was in the audience. So I had to find a way to be relaxed and, again, to remember that feeling. And this is something that I try to do on Fridays. Remember that feeling. Set yourself from the mind in these kind of situations and try to practice this lick with these situations. Then I only practice 5 days a week. I don't practice 7 days a week. I play guitar 7 days a week. So yeah, I have to play guitar every morning. I cannot start my day without playing a little bit of guitar. It's like an obsession that I have, which is okay. Better than my other obsession where I am addicted of, which are energy drinks. Give me that energy. But I try to only practice 5 days a week so I can be a little bit more flexible in my weekly practice routine, because I mean, we are adults, we know life is a little bit different often than we are expecting it or we are planning it out. And usually I plan out what I'm practicing on Sunday. Like, I'm going to practice this on Monday, this on Tuesday, this on Wednesday. And then on Tuesday I get sick. And then on Wednesday my cat has to go to the vet or something like that happened. You never know. And therefore, before I'm getting angry about myself, like, I couldn't practice 7 days a week this week, and oh, now I'm pissed off. It's better to have those 2 days in spare so you can relax a little bit more and put those practice sessions that you missed on the rest of the week on Saturday and Sunday. Yes, so much for my practice routine.